Hello, Angeline.
Hello, Zawadi. How are you, girl?
I am good. The weather is weird today, but I'm good. How about you?
It's the same over here in the UK. The weather is, I don't like to say the weather is bad because the
Mm-hmm.
rain needs to come for us to,
Yep.
grow our vegetables and whatever we need to eat. So
Right.
the weather is good. It's raining here, off and
Okay.
on, but it's good.
Okay.
Tomorrow, the forecast says it's gonna be
Mm.
sunny, but we never know.
You
Maybe it
never
might
know.
rain. Yes.
I never believed the forecast. I checked the forecast this week. It's funny enough, yesterday I was getting ready to go for my run. I put on my clothes, I got my AirPods, I got my little bag on my shoulder. I was like, oh, I'm about to run 5 miles today. The moment I got outside, I said, oh, it's raining. So
Ah,
I was like, oh my God,
but
these weather people.
you know the interesting thing here is that
What?
back home, yeah, when it's raining, sometimes it's really cat and dog. It's that
Mm-hmm,
heavy rain
mm-hmm.
that
Very
when
much.
you get under, it's gonna wet you completely. But
Mm-hmm.
here, if you know how to time the rain, you won't get wet
It's
because it
true.
just come and then stop. It's like it gives you a chance to do whatever you want to do and then come again just like that. But it's okay.
That
We
like you
need
said,
the
cat and dog.
rain.
You
Mhm.
like you said, cat and dog right back home. You can actually hear it on your roof and everything in Liberia. Yeah, the reason why I was going outside because I didn't hear any rain at all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
That's how they build their place. You see, this is what we continue to say. The people love themselves here, so they put
hmm
things in place for their own satisfaction, for their own enjoyment. So
yes.
we need to do the same back home. When you
hmm
indoor, you don't even hear the rain, the sound of the
No,
rain. Only maybe you open the curtains and you see the raindrop. But sometimes you just don't know that it is raining until you
absolutely
step
not.
out there. But in Liberia, you will hear it and you will know that it's raining.
Yes.
So that's it. That's how the life is on this side. So we need to do the same back home. Very important, I'm telling you.
Before we get to that topic, have you seen the king?
Ah, you know what? I've been so busy. I would love to see him, but I haven't seen him. I only
Since
see
you
him.
live in the UK. Oh
Ah,
God.
yeah, I know. Let the king sit down. I will see him one of these days, but I will see him
Uh,
on. I always see him
uh,
on telly anyway, so that's enough for me.
exactly. That's enough for you. So the
Mm,
reason I asked you because one time I saw the comment I asked you, Angeline, have you seen the Queen?
I know.
I'm like, that woman probably never seen that Queen in your past.
Ah, the queen live where I live is a long distance, and I don't have time to just go there, go wherever she lives to see her. So that's the reason I didn't see the queen. Now we have a king. Maybe I'll make that time to go and see him. Who knows?
Who knows? Nobody
Who
knows.
knows?
Ah, all right.
Ah.
That's cool. That's cool.
And, uh,
Anyway, thanks for coming on here. We're just having our sister to sister conversation about
yeah,
Liberia because we both are very passionate and
yeah.
feel free to share whatever you're comfortable with and so on
Mm.
and so forth. So you went to Liberia again recently. Liberia is a fine road, my sister. Can you
I
tell
tell
us?
you, you know what? I have to do it. I have to do it because it's very, very important that I make Liberia my farm road, because
hmm
I just don't want to sit back here or sit here and just enjoy life here. I have to go back home to where I come from and see what I can do there. See what I can do there
mm
to, build Liberia up. I don't know. I'm so passionate about Liberia. So
hmm
even though I'm here, but my mind is there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Let me say it that way. I'm sitting here, but my mind is there.
Oh yes, there's no place like home. When I
Mm-hmm.
met your husband last year, when I met, he said a lot of good things about the country. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
this guy is from Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
and he feels Liberia has all these opportunities. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
blame you why you guys are always there.
Yes, it's true. You go to where the opportunities are. Why do you
Hmm.
think you have the Lebanese, the Indians and all the different nationals are in Liberia? Because they see the opportunities. They see the
Hmm.
opportunities in Liberia. But we Liberians, I don't know. Are we not seeing it?
Mm.
So it's a question to you. Are we not seeing it?
It's um it's a very complicated complicated thing because sometimes, right? My grandma always says, but I think it's just an African parable. You
Mm,
don't know the importance of the well or the river until it runs dry, right?
mm,
So
mm,
sometimes I think that's the phenomenon that we Liberians have to face because we know what is there, right? But perhaps we don't understand the scarcity of what is there. It's going to be scarce at some point, right? And if we let go of what we have, we would soon regret. And we
mm-hmm,
would be the same people saying, oh, this is when they came over, they took our
mm,
land, the
mm,
people come
mm-hmm,
over, they're making
mm-hmm,
our money in our country.
mm-hmm.
But we have the opportunity now to seize it. Just yesterday, I was looking at one Liberian person that opened a resort. He has like three underground or four underground clubs or something like that, and then
Wow.
basketball court, tennis court. And I was like,
Mm,
this is a Liberian own.
mm-hmm,
So yeah, I do see many are not utilizing the opportunities we have, right? But there are some people that are like, no, no, not to go,
mm-hmm,
and like yourself. So I want to
mm-hmm,
come back to you now. They asked me about the opportunities.
mm.
Why are you even doing this? Other than that, you're a Liberian, right? Is that the main factor or is it opportunities? Why are you really trying to help Bill?
Let us look at it this way. There is nowhere like home.
Mm-hmm.
You can go wherever you want to go in this world. Your mind, where you were born, your mind will always be back to where you come from originally.
Mm,
So it's just a thing. It's just a thing that no matter where you find yourself, you
mm,
need to go back. You need to go
mm,
back to where you originated from. That's how I
mm,
would put it. Liberia is our home. Liberia
mm,
is your home. If you out there, you in America, you in the UK, you in Europe and wherever you find yourself, why will you sit there? Why will you be there and not go back to where you come from?
mm.
Why?
Mm.
Why will
So,
you
but
stay?
let's say it's me, right? And I say, Angie, I don't want to go back to that place because I'm living my good life in America. Why would I go to Liberia? So you tell me why I should go. Like somebody
You
come to
should,
you and tell you that.
yeah, you should go back because, as I said, that's where you come from. I know you
Mm-hmm.
think now that some people say, "Oh, I'm living a good life. I'm living a decent life here," and that place is not, it's not to my standard anymore. But you gotta remember, where did you come from?
Hmm.
Were you born in America? No. Were you born in the UK? No. You came from somewhere. So why are
Mm-hmm.
you just, not focusing on where you're coming from? Why are you just focusing one way? You can
Hmm.
say, oh, because I'm enjoying my life abroad, so I'm not going to step foot back home. Why?
Hmm.
There must be a reason why. Are you discouraged about Liberia?
Mm-hmm.
Are you not seeing any future in Liberia?
Hmm.
Who's going to make that future for Liberia? Who's going to put Liberia on the map if you don't go there. If every one of us come on this side, come abroad, and we say we're not going back, so what are we doing to the motherland? What do we
Mm,
expect to
mm,
see if you don't take the initiative to do what you need to do or what you want to do? Who's going to do it for you? Where you are now, where you're sitting in that country, you're sitting, you're enjoying life, everything is working fine. You're seeing electricity 24 hours, you're eating, whatever you want to eat. Do you think it just happened like that?
mm,
No, it didn't just come about like that. There were people that laid the foundation that you and I enjoying today. So why are
mm,
you not doing the same thing for your country? Why do you
mm,
leave it to other people to do? You have to set example. You have to lay the foundation. If you say, okay, um Liberia don't have good road system, because these are things that people complain about. People are
mhm.
good at complaining, but they don't
Yeah.
want to find solution to the problem. They don't
Mhm.
want to be part of the solution. They just want to
Mm,
be part of the problem, just complaining and complaining.
mhm.
If you find yourself complaining about everything, you need to sit down and have a break and say, why am I complaining? Why am I not part of the
Mm,
solution? Why am I not
mm,
helping? Because
mm.
if you didn't have the opportunity to travel, what were you going to be doing in Liberia? Were
Absolutely.
you not going to help in any way you can or you could? So let us be, I would say we should be positive about life. We should be positive about Liberia. Liberia has a great and a bright future. So
Mm,
if you don't go to Liberia, you as an individual, you say, oh, that place, I'm not going there, I'm not doing anything there. Liberia will still move on, but in the
mhm.
long run, you will regret why you never make a move, why you never do certain thing, or why you never did, what you wanted to do or what you should have done.
Mm,
So
mm,
I like to preach the even on my channel, I will always talk about it. Go back home and do something. Even if you're not ready to do anything, just go back and watch and see. There are opportunities all around you, even the great United States, the Great Britain. Do you think life is easy here?
mm,
We have to work. And here, when you're working for 13 hours, you work for that 13 hours. If you're working for 10 hours, you work for that 10 hours. And this is how the people able to build their country up to make it to the standard that you are enjoying today. So you just want to sit there
absolutely.
and just enjoy and you don't want to do anything. Life does not go that way. So it's the same way with we Liberians. We should be able to work and do something back home. We should be able to put Liberia first, to say, yes, I'm going back to Liberia, even though she's not up to the standard that I want her to be, but I'm going back to make the difference in Liberia. And the good thing is that Liberia is so small. So anything you
Mhm.
do there, it has a great impact. Because the
Impact.
place is small, it's not like Nigeria. In Nigeria, if you have million dollar or you doing whatever you're doing there, people don't really notice you because there's too many millionaires there. But
Mhm.
it's not like that in Liberia. Liberia is so small and the opportunity there is great. The opportunities are all around you in Liberia. But if only you can see. I think the
Mm,
problem with us like Liberia, I'm not trying to put anyone down, but this is something I'm just saying for every one of us to think twice. The
mhm.
problem with us Liberians, we don't like to make a move. We don't like to see the opportunity. We don't like to think fast. We
Mm,
just want to sit down and let things happen for us, and
mhm.
which I think is a problem, because you have to put yourself out there. You have to be the one to think it and do it. It's the thinking part that we Liberians are lacking. So if only we can sit down and think, what can I do in Liberia? What can I, you know, how can I position myself in Liberia? Everybody must not build a house in Liberia. If you don't
Mm-hmm.
want to build a house in Liberia, that is not a problem. But there are other things you can do. There are other things,
Right.
there's, different things you can do there. You must not build a house if you don't want to build a house. But
Right,
there are
right.
other development that you can carry on in Liberia.
Absolutely. Yes.
Mm.
So everything you've said, I'm on board and I'm totally in agreement. Um, what if I tell you, well, I wasn't born in Liberia, okay? My parents are Liberian, so I don't care. What can you say to that?
That one I will understand it a little bit, because if
Okay.
you were not born in Liberia, your parents are Liberians, depending on how your parents brought you out. Because there are some people, their parents are not, Liberians. Their parents are Liberians, but they were not born in Liberia. But their parents brought them out to know the value of where they come from.
Okay.
So with that, you still see them trying to go back to their roots. So it all depends on the parents of that child. Some will say, okay, my parents did not, tell me much about my roots, so I'm not going back. I can blame those kind of people. But there are some, even though their parents did not tell them, but they still want to go and, see where they come from, where their parents come from. They want to identify with the country. So that's a good
But
thing.
so it starts, in other words, it starts with the parents, right? To educate their kids
Exactly,
about,
yeah.
but if the parents do have love for their country, then obviously it's a ripple
It's
effect. It's that it
yes.
carries over
Yeah.
to having the kids informed
Yeah.
about
Mm,
where they are from. But if they're not proud of coming
mm,
from Liberia and or
mm.
wanting to visit, then they become very mute
Yes,
to the
exactly.
conversation of
Yeah.
development.
And there are some parents that they are not proud of where they come from, especially because of the war, situation in Liberia, maybe their experience or experiences. So they are not proud to tell their children that I come from this part of Africa. Or sometimes they tell their children it's just about, what happened to them during the war. So if you tell your child those kind of things, um, we had war and they were killing people and they did this, they did that, that child gonna be afraid to go back, or that child gonna be afraid to even want to know where the parents come from, because all the child know is that the place is not a good place to
Mm,
go. So it
okay.
depends on the parents. It really
Okay.
depends on the parents. Yeah.
Okay, so for those who have never been, perhaps who were born outside of Liberia, it is knowing that info is based on what your parents are going to be letting you in on,
Mm-hmm.
and or even taking you back to the country to see for yourself, and
Yeah.
also to understand that regardless of the circumstances that will be
Mm-hmm.
presented when they go home, Liberia is still a place. I always make a joke with my
Mm-hmm.
siblings, and I say, if the president of the United States said, all all of you guys who came here as an immigrant and got citizenship through that way should go home, where will we all be going?
Exactly. That's a good question. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and it's a hard to answer question,
Mm-hmm.
especially for those who said Liberia is in my home. Well,
Mm.
you know, one day America just get up and say, you go to your house.
Yeah.
As Donald Trump said, you go to your shithole countries. And where where will you be going?
Yeah.
That
That's
is
a
something to
that's
really
a
think
very,
about.
very good question. Where will you be going? Mm-hmm.
Where will you be going? Because this is the place now. You have to go back.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't fix your backyard or your
Mm-hmm.
house, do you expect a stranger to fix it?
No.
So,
Exactly.
in other words, Liberia is all of our home, right? Many of
Mm-hmm.
my viewers here and some of those that they share this stuff with, they are from Liberia. And I want you guys to realize that regardless of the millions of dollars you will accumulate wherever you are, regardless of the statuses that you may have gained wherever you are, Liberia will forever be your home if you have some form
Exactly.
of
Yeah.
association. And I
Mm-hmm.
think it's very important to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so it seems that drives you, right? That regardless of where you are, Liberia is the home, you think about it, you
Mm-hmm.
develop there and all that. And so tell me, what now are you looking to see? What are you really looking to see with everything you're doing in Liberia?
Let me just say something. If you don't know where you're coming from,
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't know where you are
We're
going.
going.
Yes.
Amen.
You got to know where you're coming from. You got to know your roots, no matter what. Liberia may not be to your standard right now,
Mm-hmm.
but that's where you are from. So if you don't know where you're coming from, you will not know where you're going. Liberia is there. Liberia is open and waiting for you to go back home, to go back and develop. I've been going back and forth in Liberia. I got things that I'm doing there. I know my reason of doing those things because it's
So what are
gonna.
you doing? Sorry, I don't mean to cut you.
I don't want to publicize it because I
Okay.
don't. Yeah, for now, I will hold on to that
You're
thought.
doing projects.
Yes,
Okay.
I will hold on to that until the right time. When the right time
Mm-hmm.
comes, but other people know, those that have been following me on my channel, they know that I was building my house. I brought I opened everything up to them, to the public, to the whole world to see. So they saw the whole thing from the beginning to the end. So that's something that, they too been cheering me on, and they've been, encouraging me and sharing their own project with me, which we've been taking, support from one another. So it's not a hidden thing, but there are other things that I'm doing there, and I just don't want to, talk about it, because sometimes when you
Publicizing.
start talking all these things, yeah, people think that, oh, look at her, she's flamboyant,
Yeah.
she's trying to show off.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that you're trying to show off, you're just trying to encourage, to inspire
Right.
people, to motivate people to do same. You're not showing off. But
Right.
if people feel that you're showing off, that's their own thinking. You can do
That's a
nothing
reflection
about
of
it.
them. Mm-hmm.
So as I was saying, Liberia is there. Liberia has lots of opportunities for you and I. I go back and forth in Liberia because I got things I'm doing there. I got my projects. I want to open business. I want to do this. I want to do that. And there's so many opportunities there that I want to make use of. I want to grab now, so that when the time comes, I will sit down and enjoy myself. And then I will be telling those people that did not do anything, I will come up here on the scene channel and tell them that I told you, I was telling you that, this is what was going to happen, and you thought it was joke. Now you see. So there are so many opportunities in Liberia. Let people make use of it. Those different nationals that are going there, they are not stupid. They see the potential. They see the opportunities. That's why they are there. So if you don't know what you have, other people will come and take it from you. If you don't write your own story, other people will write your story, and it may not be, the right thing. It may not be what the real thing. So I'm sure people getting what I'm trying to say here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
in short, go back home. Liberians, go back home. If you haven't been to Liberia for maybe the past 15 years, 20, there are people that haven't gone back home since the 80s. since the
Mm,
90s,
mm.
since the early 2000s. So what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you not going back? Sometimes I wonder why. Is it personal reason, or it's just that you just feel that nothing good gonna come out of Liberia again? That's why you don't want to go there. I really I don't know what to say, but we have to keep coming on this channel and keep telling people what they need to hear, what they need to know.
So thank you for that. But let's pivot. We've said all these things, right?
Mm,
Going there is not bread and butter, right?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I always tell people to maintain a focused mind
Yes.
because in life there will always be barriers,
Mm-hmm,
regardless of where you are. Even where you live outside of Liberia, there are barriers
mm-hmm,
because sometimes maybe you even want to open a business, but you work 13 hours, don't even give
mm,
you that opportunity to reflect and brainstorm
mm-hmm.
and even network, right? So that's a
Yeah.
barrier. So there are
Yes.
barriers to every place we live. So now I'm looking to go to Liberia, right? For example, I'm looking to go to Liberia, but then I see obstacles. What are some barriers that you think you've experienced, but then how to get over them to proceed with your the things that you're doing?
Um, it's not easy. It's not easy when you go to Liberia, especially when it is, you're just trying to step in there or step up your game when it comes to Liberia, and you've been living abroad for a long time. It's not going to be easy. As with everything, anything in this life, it's not easy. It left with you how determined you want to be and how serious you want to do whatever you want to do. But going to Liberia to do, for example, if you want to do business, it's not going to be you just get there and then it just happen.
Sorry, my grandma was calling. She's in Liberia right now. She's calling, but no, it's
uh,
fine. She knows.
okay. Yes, as I was saying, when you want to do something in Liberia and you go to Liberia, it's not going to be easy. The first thing, if you don't have a car, it's going to be a challenge if you don't have a
Okay.
car, because you need to get from point A to point B to do certain things. It's not going to just work like the way you know it
Mm-hmm.
abroad. It's not going to work like that. And then the people, our people that you come in contact with, those people that you want them to help you to do whatever you want to do. The way you do your thing here is not how they do their thing back home. So that's some of the barrier, that's some of the challenges there. You know,
One of the things that I'll pinpoint on before you can go ahead. Sorry,
mm,
please
mm,
remember your next thought is like she said, how you do things here or wherever you are outside of
mm,
Liberia is not the
mm,
same. For example, I'll
mm,
give you guys a very good example.
mm,
When you hire a contractor, okay, they want you to pay the transportation. When
mm,
you hire someone to do something for you, they want you to
mm. Yeah,
they want
yeah,
you to pay before the work is done. So,
yeah.
these are some of
Mm.
the adjustments that needs to
Yeah,
be made.
these are some of the things. So if you're not used to those kind of things, it's gonna frustrate your effort. It's gonna frustrate you, and you're gonna be annoyed. You're gonna be asking questions. You're gonna be, shouting at people and be swearing at people, and you're gonna get discouraged. But you don't get discouraged because your system here is different from the system back home. So before you even have this mindset that I want to go back to do something, you have to have a focus. You have to think first. Okay, let's say you left, you grew up in Liberia. You left from Liberia for maybe 10, 15 years. So
Hmm.
you still know that there is some trace of, um whatever, what's the word? You know that there is certain ways that Liberians do things. So
Hmm.
even
Hmm.
though you come to America, or you in UK, you cannot say the way I'm living in the UK here. that's how I'm going to, the way I'm doing things in the UK here, that's how I'm going to, do it in Liberia.
Liberia.
It's not going to work like that, because if you take the system from here to Liberia, it's going to give you hard time. You're going to be frustrated. You're not going to go further, because you will feel that the people are not serious. You will feel that
Mm.
the people don't want to work. You will feel that the people, they just lazy. It's not that they
So
lazy,
so
they
so
don't
let me
want to
ask you
work.
something, or let me ask you something. Okay. How would you suggest somebody work along, right? Because the thing is, many people do think they're lazy. Okay,
Mm,
many people do think that some of the good things that they're trying to implement from abroad are not being implemented back home because people mentality. To some
mm,
extent, I agree.
mm.
However, we want to talk about how to help them navigate some of these
The
things.
thing
So, how do
about it,
you?
the thing about it, you cannot come from abroad with your system and bring it and take it to Liberia and want to install it into the people there and then. It's not going to
Right,
work.
right.
You're going to be frustrated, because this is not how the people know it. The people have their own system there. So it's just like if you go into a town where the bats hang. When you get there, you need to know how to hang, or try to hang if even you don't know it, but do it the same way. So, for example, if you're building a house and you want the people to start work 8 o'clock, yeah, you want everybody to be at work 8 o'clock. What you can do there is to have a meeting. So don't just say, okay, we'll start work 8 o'clock and I will see you at 8 o'clock. Because
Mm-hmm.
definitely if you go there 8 o'clock, you're not going to see them. So
Mm-hmm.
what you can do to make it easy for yourself, before you even start the work, have a meeting with the people. Tell the people how you want your work. That's the
Mm.
initial stage there. Tell the people how you want your work to be. Okay, gentlemen, yes, we're starting the work tomorrow or the after tomorrow. This
Mm-hmm.
is how we're going to do it. So every day, 8 o'clock, we're going to meet here, and we're going to finish 5 o'clock every day.
Okay.
If you come 9 o'clock, you're not working. If you
Mm-hmm.
come here 9 o'clock, you will not work. You will not be part of the team here. Start from there. You have to build your own system with the people that
Yes.
you're working with to get a good result. But you cannot come from America and come to like Morovia or Liberia and then trying to install your own system into the people right there and then. It's not going to work. This is why so many people come back and say, oh, those people are not serious, they are lazy, they don't want to do anything, and this and that. No,
So
I think
Angie, so you go there.
mm,
Okay,
yeah,
finish.
patience is the game here. Patience is the game here. If you have the patience, you will know how to talk to our people. If you have the patience, you will know how to do your things slowly, slowly, but you get into where you want to get. So many people don't have this patience. Many people, they are not focused when it comes to whatever they want to do, because one day they want to be at the site, the next day they're not, they are not going there, they'll be somewhere else. After 2 days they come back, to the site. It's not going to work like that. If you don't have the patience to do whatever you want to do in Liberia, what you could do is to have someone who will be able to carry on your project, who will be able to do whatever you want them to do. So if you have that system, if you say, okay, I don't want to do this thing myself because I don't have the patience to be telling people do this, do that, and I'm taking this person now to be my head person, what you are going to do now is, whoever will be in front of your project, you're going to call that person aside and tell the person how you want your work to be.
Hmm.
It all depends on this person now that will be heading your project. So Are you getting where I'm going?
Yeah, I get your drift. You know,
Mm.
I agree with you with that, and I think that when you were trying to instill a system into a specific place,
Mm.
you the person have to be the leader, and
Yeah,
how you lead it
exactly.
by example, like you said. If
Mm-hmm.
the person come 9 o'clock, you either send them home or tell
Mm-hmm.
them this is what we discussed. You didn't
Mm-hmm.
go with my agreement, therefore you're going home, and you
Yeah,
have to stick to that because the
exactly.
moment
Mm-hmm.
you decide, oh well, okay, I will spare you today. Someone else will come at 9 or 2, and
Mm-hmm.
then they'll be like, you need to spare me too. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's just gonna keep carrying on and carrying on and carrying on, like you said. It
Mm-hmm.
requires patience. And another thing that has worked well for my team is this. I I conduct training every Friday. Like
It,
even today we talk.
you see?
Every Friday I conduct training.
Mm-hmm.
Some days it will just be sensitivity training. Some
Mm-hmm.
days it will be customer service training. Other
Mm-hmm.
day it will be action items, checklist, tasks, all of
Mm-hmm.
those things, report writing training.
Mm-hmm.
All of these things I have to do as a leader
Mm-hmm.
because you know what? I don't want to give myself no headache.
Exactly.
Do you
Yeah.
understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm also not there, but it does require patience, like you said. You
Mm-hmm.
have to be persistent. You have to be consistent. You have to be a
Mm-hmm.
leader in order
Yes.
for things to work out. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not without barriers. You
Mm-hmm.
will always come
Exactly.
across. You will always have barriers. But as a leader, how do you resolve those things? And it's
Exactly.
including those that you work with, because
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, things are not successful by one person doing them. It's
Yes. Mm-hmm.
successful when we all come together as a group, and those that work with you are the ones that are executing your task.
Yes.
Therefore, you need to ensure that they are part of your success team. Like
Mm-hmm.
oh, to be successful, I need this, and that, right?
Yes.
And these are the people that are included. And the most important thing you touched on there was it can be now. If you
Mm-hmm.
take a new system, you need to ensure that it takes some time before people
Time.
can really get
Mm-hmm.
adjusted. Put it
Yes.
in your shoes. The first time you traveled to the UK, America,
Mm.
did you just become Americanized? Did you just,
Exactly.
all these things? It does take time. So if you're going to take the same system back to Liberia,
Mm.
you have to understand it will be a slow process, but it will be
Yeah.
a sure process if you
Yeah.
execute accordingly. So
Mm-hmm.
that's really good advice for people.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so you talk about work barriers and all the transportation. People need to get a car.
Mm-hmm.
Again, these are really good tips, okay, that
Mm-hmm.
Angie is giving you, and I said the same thing too. If you can get a place to be, a car, I think a lot of your stressors are down.
Yes.
That's my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of your stressors are down because then you can navigate around.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. So you said everyone just don't have to build a house. You can do
Yes.
volunteering, you can
Mm-hmm.
do business, you can mentor a child or kids.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many things that we need within the country. So
Exactly.
we
Yeah.
can all contribute.
If you're in the health sector, you can go there and advise people on what to do, how to live their life, how to live longer, how to implement certain things in their life. You can even go to the hospital and
Volunteer.
and volunteer. So you must not build a house. Not everybody wants to build a house in Liberia, you know. So if you want to do business, you just want to do your business, there's a way of doing it. You can go there, get your information and get your store, rent your place, see what kind of business you think that will, generate you money. And I see lots of people go back home, establish business or businesses, and after 1 or 2 years, the business break down. So, you know, and once that business break down, they get frustrated. They say, "Oh, I'm not going to do business there
Mhm,
again
mhm,
because
mhm.
it was not profitable. It didn't do well. Or the people that was running my business, they just drag me down to the dream.
So what
So
did you do as a leader?
exactly. So it comes back to the same thing we're talking here. You have to create your own system and you have to work within that system and you have to know the strength. One important thing here is to know the strength of the people that you have around you. This
Hmm.
is very, very important because if you give John Brown a task that you know very well he will not be able to, you know, work on that task, he will not be able to function in that area that you give him. Why give it to him? Why
Mm-hmm.
stress yourself out? Don't give it to him because he will not be able to perform. So
Absolutely.
you look for
Absolutely.
people's strength to work with them. If you Everybody is important in an organization. If you create your organization, or if you I don't know. If you create your organization, I'm telling you, because I see so many people get frustrated, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it pains me to see people losing their money, their hard-earned money, send it down there, and at the end result, they don't come out mm, with anything. It's painful. And
It is.
I know how they feel to go back home wanting to do something and it is not being fruitful. So this is where we come in and explain these things to you. You have to know people's strength around you, even your child, your children in your house that you have, your own children. You got to know their strength, what they're good at. If you know what they're good at, you build them up from there. They will do well. But if you don't know their strength, you will always be giving them things that they will not be able
But
to.
to
Yes.
do and then
So
get frustrated.
know people's strength. If you're building a house in Liberia and you want people to work for you, work with you to build that house that you want to build. If you have 10 people, try sit down, study these 10 people. What are they good at? There are some people that will only be good at bringing the water for the masonry work. There will be people that will only be good at talking, motivating people. So
Mm-hmm.
all these things you need to know how you're going to go about it. And once you get this concept, you will be successful in anything that you want to do, whether back home or or where you live
And then
abroad.
that also plays to yourself. You have to know
Mm-hmm.
your own strengths and
Exactly.
all
Mm-hmm.
weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing is, you go into something you have no clue, which of
Mm-hmm.
course
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I myself have to go into things I have no clue.
Mm-hmm.
But then I play into my strength of management.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You play into your strength of management and bring people on board who know exactly what to
What
do.
are doing?
You know what
Yes.
I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Until you
Mm-hmm.
surround yourself with the appropriate people
People.
to
Yeah.
help move things forward. Angie, absolutely love that. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
so much.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you wanted to add to this conversation? Because I know we're going to have another conversation with our girl showcase of
Yeah,
Liberia. So,
yeah, I know. There's so many things I want to say here because I so much love my Liberian people. I love my country, Liberia, and I just want people to have this hope that there is something good that is coming out of Liberia. I did not say will, but is coming out
mm-hmm,
of Liberia because I don't want to talk about what is going to happen. I'm telling you about what is happening now. There
now.
are things that are happening in Liberia, but if you don't open your eyes to see to these things, to see all of these things are happening, you will always have this mindset that nothing good is happening in Liberia, nothing good is going to come out of Liberia. So I just want people to have this positive mindset when it comes to Liberia. If you have the positive mindset about Liberia, you will see all the prospects, you will see all, the beautification, you will see lots of things that you haven't seen before. You will see them. So Liberia is a land of opportunity. And people see these things, foreigners see these things, they go there and exploit the place. So we Liberians, we cannot sit there and not do anything. if you haven't gone back home for a very long time, take the time. You don't need to say, oh, I'm going to build a house, I'm going to, do a business there now before you start going there. Just take your time, take a
Visit.
holiday, go there, visit, have a look around, see what you think you haven't been seeing or you have missed. Go there and see for yourself, because unlike sometimes people just come out to say things that they don't have no idea about, say lots of negative things. Because one thing I've come to realize is that people love to hear the negative, you
Mm-hmm.
know, even about other people. When they
Mm-hmm.
say something negative, people ears are itching to
Yeah.
hear. But when it's positive things, they play low on it. I don't know why
Like
it's like that.
this, we talk
Mm,
about this all the time. Go subscribe to Angeline
mm.
channel. Like bring people, why does it hurt for you to subscribe? Because it's positive thing we are sharing. You people don't want to share, but now if the angel were forcing you on this channel, causing each other out, oh,
Yeah,
y'all be
oh,
sharing this. Oh,
I'm telling you. I don't know why are we like that? Why are humans like that? You only want to see the negative. You don't want to see the positive. When people are talking about the positive things, it makes some people so angry. Some people will even come on the channel and start talking all kinds of things. I can't remember the person now, but I did a video about, I was explaining about how the road development was going on, and it's a positive thing. And I'm happy about that, the road. And this person just came in my inbox and start talking all kinds of things you know so you
uh,
can see clearly that that person was not even looking at what I was looking at. They were not even following the story. The only thing that got to their mind is, why is she talking this thing? I need to talk something negative. And then, if you have that kind of mindset, you're not going anywhere, because this is what will be happening to you. More and more negative will just be flooding in your mind. And at the end of the day, you'll find out that you don't amount to anything. So we have to pass these negative thoughts, negative comments, and look for something positive to say, because there's
be
so many
positive
positive
today.
things
Be
around
positive
us.
today, you guys. Be positive and go subscribe to Angelic channel. Be positive and share this work. Be positive and give thumbs up. It doesn't hurt to do any of these things, because we, like very YouTubers, right? Need visibility, especially those on the ground,
Yeah.
those who are
Mm-hmm.
doing their best. We need to provide visibility. So just be a positive person and share Angeline channel.
Mm-hmm.
Give a thumbs up. Subscribe.
If I know, if you have to scream so they hear it and subscribe. Because I was just looking at my, how they call it, analytics or what it,
Analytics,
and
yeah.
the people that watch, the people that subscribe, they are less than the people. So you watching the channel, but you are not subscribed. Why are you not subscribed? You enjoying the content that people putting out there, you know. So the best thing you can do is just that red button there. You just
It
click it.
doesn't hurt.
You're not paying any money for it, you know.
You're not paying any money to share these videos too. Okay. So
Exactly.
anyway, we will continue this conversation with Showcase next time once we set a date. I want to say thank you so much. I'm gonna share some of the pictures that I will ask you for on this video here. So
Okay.
as we are doing this interview, that people can see that you went
Mm.
back home, you went to the beach, you ate, and you be having fun over there.
Yeah.
So they can see into your trip. Thank you so
Uh-huh.
much.
Thank you for having me. I really
All right.
appreciate the time. I appreciate you and all of
Thank,
your good work that you're doing.
thank
I'm
you.
following you and I'm cheering you on.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Absolutely the
much.
same. Absolutely the same. Absolutely the same. Have a
Yeah.
good day, and we'll talk soon.